Early on, the theme continued. We were dominating matches, but we just could not get the results. Match stats like this were all too common. What nearly tipped me over the edge was this match against Reggiana, where they had 6 shots on target and 5 of them went in. I felt sick. It happened again against Palermo, but instead of panicking, I stubbornly stuck to our tactic and the chemistry came back to us and results started to go our way, and the key man in all of this was undoubtedly our boy Condello. That double gave us a big win over pre-season favourite Salernitana, and he really rose to the challenge when Guasson did that in only the 8th minute. But Condello got a 94th minute penalty for his hat-trick and got us a free. And that result has really spurred us on. We've only 1 defeat since, to Sampdoria. We are on a great run. Don't forget our pre-season odds have us down at 450 to 1. But unbelievably, in February, we are sat in 5th and we are just off automatic promotion. What is going on? The turnaround has been huge and you can see our team attacking stats. We are way ahead of most teams in most metrics. Things are looking pretty good. As for the chosen ones, Condello has led the charge with 13 goals in the step up to Serie B and his value has rocketed to a max of 2.4 million. After a slow start, Ruti Giuliano is also starting to score. He's got 9 goals. Moretti, bless his heart, he shouldn't be playing as often as he is, but his value's shooting up to nearly 6 million and his attributes continue to rise, as does central midfield legend Yaya. Even Di Marino at 26 has shown some signs of improvement, and probably the biggest progression has been Kalina at 19 years old, but it's came at a cost. Yes, there is Kalina. This season has been superb, by the way. You can see his attributes on the rise. I keep forgetting he's only 19 because this is his 3rd full season, but you will notice under promise here, promised he'll be sold if 1.8 million bid is received. Now that might seem like bad news, and it is bad news. We were getting so many bids from Serie A teams. He wanted to speak to them and I wouldn't let him. So finally, I accepted the fact that I've got to let him go. But I did it right on deadline day. We got no bids in, so I'm hoping that he'll get over it. Because the season overall has been way better than we thought it was going to be. If I look at the schedule, you look at the start of the season, it was a bit up and down. The jump to Serie B looked a bit scary, but we didn't panic. We kept the same tactic, and despite the odd random game like that Reggiana one and that Palermo one, we've been on a great run at the minute. Great run, like 6 or 7 undefeated now. And it's not out of the realms of possibilities that we could challenge this top 2, and we beat Salernitana already. But there is one big problem that can affect the entire save. And if you remember, if we lose a player like Kalina, we need to replace them with one of our youth players. And that's directly affected by our facilities. Good youth facilities at the minute, but we need them better. However, I can't get them improved with the financial situation as it is. This, friends, is an absolute train wreck. If you remember all the way back in season 1, we started with a positive balance and I was quite cocky about, oh, we've got a great balance. So a bit more club background, and I was quite excited to see this, that the overall balance of the club is actually 2 million in profits. They're in a decent little place. Now, we are hugely in debt at 5 million. I was trying to save money wherever I could, even to the point where we have cancelled all our scouting. We don't do any scouting now. We're spending 0 money on it. And if you look at our recruitment team, I haven't bothered to get any more scouts in other than the 2 that we currently have. And one of them doesn't look like he's taking things too seriously. So what the hell is going on? This is total income. So far this month we've made 93,000 halfway through the month. Last month we created about 265,000. That doesn't sound too bad. However, when we go to expenditure, we can see this month we've already spent 358,000 and last month we spent 750,000. There's the problem. Having a look at the bigger expenditure, it is player wages. So that's probably on me. However, when we signed these players, the scouting wage budget allowed me to do that. I'm starting to think that Paolo isn't the greatest business person. Don't worry folks, it gets even worse. When I go to the projection tab, at the end of this current season, it estimates we'll be around 7 million in debt, and if we carry on the way we are, by the end of the season after, 12 million and then 16 million. So obviously something's got to be done, and I'm worried the board are going to take matters into their own hands and sell our key players from under our noses. For now, I need to have a look at what I can do for the end of the season. If I go up to contract info up here, lock that in and have a look at wage, you can see that one of the signings had a cheeky clause, and that was totally my fault for not looking at it. Jan Oliveras was signed for about £2,000 a week, and I've just noticed that his wage has now gone up to £6,000 a week. Must be down to appearances. That's on me. Other high earners include Guasson, who's probably worth it, Di Marino, who's a chosen one, and then Melangoni, who is a great player, but his contract does expire at the end of the season, so we'll let him go and save that £4 a week. Some of the other high earners aren't even regulars, so I need to shift them out and replace them with players from the youth team. This isn't one of those saves where we came in and just bought loads of players and devastated the club. We thought we were doing things pretty sensibly, but we are in the mud. Ironically, just before the summer transfer window closed, we did sign a new player as well, Lauren Zuniga, who was at Real Madrid's B team. We had to lose Krastev. It wasn't a great offer, but I had to get his wages off the bill, so he's gone back to Bulgaria. So the financial state of the club is a huge worry, but what is going well is the actual performance of the team, and we have brought in a new tactic, and it's not what you might think. We had a very tough away game at Foggia, and we just about got the job done. However, in that match, I reverted to this formation where we basically had a flat back five, so the two wing backs dropped back, meaning we're a little bit more defensively solid. Probably not the attacking switch you were thinking I would do, right? I'd love to say that it was my genius that discovered this formation, when in actuality, it was this man and his main club bitching at me. So Adam Bakun is a great player. He plays down the right hand side. He's absolutely superb. However, under the terms of his loan deal, his preferred position was defence right. So right in the right back slot, and I've been playing him higher up. This has led to AS Roma manager Thomas Lech giving me grief non-stop, threatening to pull the loan move. So in fear of losing him, I've played quite a few away matches like that, just to make them get off my back. And it's so vital we keep him. 6'5", he's a threat from corners, but he's also really good going forward as a wing back. So yeah, by default, we've got a second formation. Now the other thing that's developed really well is our loan players. Now we've got 5 players out on loan, and all of them are going to be vital. Now check this out. Elton Sulaj, who is on loan in Albania, his attributes just continue to rise. He's playing regularly, and now his actual value for the club is up to near 3 million. My question to you is, he's very versatile, but which will be his best position? Because next season, he's a definite. Pelagata, playing down in Serie C, scored 4 times from the attacking midfield slot. And again, he's got some great attribute growth going on, valued at 1.6 million. One of the more unspectacular ones is Giovanni Agresta. He's got a lot of improving to do. He's only 17, but if Kalina leaves, he is in line to step in. And the final one who was out on loan and playing well is Nicolo Di Arico. He's got great physicals. He's probably got the best physicals of the young players. But where should we put him? Is he right being a winger with that crossing that's not great? Some people say he should be a striker, but his off the ball movement worries me a little bit. This one, I'm a bit confused about where to train him up as when he gets back to the club. But overall, these loan moves have been a great success. So at this point of the save, this is where I like to look for players who are out of contract in South America. They've been released, such as Augustine Pallavicino. He would walk into our team, but obviously we can't make any bid for him because we have no money. Frustrating. There's even a player like this, Matteo Companon. He's been released by Juventus. A free transfer, it'd be ideal. Just can't afford him. Add that to the fact that players like this are coming up for grabs at the end of the season, end of contract. A great goalkeeper, perfect for us. You guessed it, can't afford him. Which makes this section even more important for us. It's the development centre, the youth candidates, the preview, and it's only an average intake. We didn't have a great intake last year either, so we are really scraping the barrel to build up a squad. However, let's just keep an eye on Stefano Socci, who continues to improve, that potential striker. And there's also Vittorio Guido, who is a 16-year-old centre-back, who may get a shot. So in Season 3, we've got roughly 12 games left of the season. And remember, we are currently sat in 5th, the top 8 going to the playoffs, but we're only 4 points off automatic. We've got to dare to dream, right?